Hello. Hello, my friends. Hello, hello. I'm so happy to be here with you tonight. I'm so happy that you're here with me tonight. What an awesome thing that you're choosing to spend your time here with me. Blows my mind every time. It is an absolutely stellarly gorgeous summer evening. It's cool. I don't even know if it's 70 degrees right now. So it's, windows wide open, cool breeze coming in. It's blowing my sage across me, blowing smoke across. So I offer you a smoke cleanse right off the rip here. Light it if you got it. And I offer you a water and earth cleanse and blessing. And you as well. And then I offer you a bell. I usually never bring the bell on reading nights, but we should. So when you hear the tone, just allow it to call you into presence. Just bring your awareness to that sound and, all of your awareness. And listen as much as you can until you can hear it fade away. It's best to do this kind of thing live, but you can do it now too. Great time to uncross your legs, put your feet flat on the floor. And let your awareness come down into your body. And let's ask our allies and ancestors, guides and guardians to come on in. And whoever's here with me now, come on, check in so I can connect with you. So, my guides, thank you for being here. Thank you for giving me such clear information. I did readings over the weekend for my family, and it was really fun. So I thank you for being here each and every day and for helping me share my gifts. I thank you, I thank you, I thank you. And I offer you the fire of Azrael and invite in the spirit of divination to assist me tonight. Oh, the smell. Okay, I want to show you something. In just a second, I'll show you something. I'll show you what I'm doing. Check in and say hello, please. And because if I see a name, I'm starting to realize as I do these general group readings. And so disclaimers first, that these are general readings, and listen to the readings for your sun, moon, ascendant signs. See if those vibe for you. Not everything is going to vibe for everybody, because these are general, broad readings. But what I seem to be noticing is hi Marcy, welcome my dear. Hit that like button while you're trying to decide if you're checking in or not. I'm gonna give you shit till you do. Anyway, oh God, did I sidetrack myself again? Oh, so I learned from my friend Samantha, who is SJW when she's here. She always asks permission, from the people she's giving a reading to. I always just assumed if you're coming to sit in my chair, you're giving me permission to do a reading for you. But she will ask them to state their name, and that's the vibration. There's a vibration behind the name, and my guides can use that name to hook in. So I now do that too. I will tell someone, please say your name for me, and however they want to identify themselves, full name, but whatever, just what's your name? And then I say, do I have your permission to give you a reading today? So when I see the names go by there, and I'm saying, welcome Marcy, welcome Baby Joe, welcome Samantha, welcome Darcy, welcome Baronessa, welcome, Amy, Rose, all of my regulars that come in regularly, oddly enough. Those names give me something to tune into and give my guides something to tune into. So check in and say hi. Even if that's not your real name, it's still a connection. It's an energetic connection. All right. And thank you for the like, whoever did that. I am bathing in the fire of Azrael right now. This is heaven. So the thing I want to show you. See, I'm sidetracked myself, but I'm coming back. I might as well show you all of the ingredients. I have cedar. I have juniper. And I have chandan. The 3 ingredients for the fire of Azrael. So my aim this time is to make enough that I do have some to sell. And I have spent this Mercury retro sussing out where I want to set up an actual shop, an online shop, because Facebook Marketplace doesn't do it for me. And I want to have an easy way for you guys to go to one place and see all the stuff that I have without having to search anything. So anyhow, that's what I'm working on. And this week, I hope that you've had a marvelous week, this past week. We've had a lot of activity. Got a new toilet. I got a bidet. My daughter got us a bidet for our anniversary. It's a whole new world. Anyway, my sister and her daughter and her grandson, my first great nephew, came to visit over the weekend, and we had the loveliest time. It was so relaxing and so comforting and just so wonderful to be together. And this was like the last people that I needed to reconnect with. I haven't seen them in person for, since the pandemic, since February of 2020. So it was joyous and calm and wonderful. And doing readings Saturday night was really, really fun. So Robin Wood Deck has been getting a workout. I've been reaching for that one first when it comes to actual, client readings and stuff. And it's been great. But tonight, the decks that we are using tonight are the Osho Zen and the Starseed Oracle. And Starseed has been in my mind for a couple of days that wanted to show up tonight. And then, of course, I forgot about that and was going to go for something else. And then it's like, nope, Starseed wants you. And then Osho, it's just a great deck. Let's do a general reading. So, disclaimers. These readings are general. They are for spiritual purposes. And they're for entertainment purposes. If this is, a fun evening for you, whether it resonates for you or not, then that's what I'm here for. This is in no way meant to diagnose or predict or any of those things I can get in trouble for. So this is just a preemptive strike. Come on, show up, everybody, represent. Put your name up there. Say hi. Let's forge that energetic connection. All right, general reading for all of us right now. We have Neptune in Gemini in 10. All right. So Neptune is a great planet to show up for tonight's vibe because Neptune is the ruler of things like divination and doing psychic readings. So I'm very, very happy about that. And in Gemini, it says we communicate those things. Neptune in Gemini is messages that come in verbal form. It's communicating with spirit. Yes, they are amazing decks. And being able to take, this is for me, so I can take the vibes that I'm getting, put them into words that make sense. And the 10th house is so that we get somewhere. 10th house is achievement, it's status, it's getting somewhere. What's the point of this? Here, what am I here for? It's purpose. So that's our purpose tonight, to get some really awesome psychic messages. It's my purpose to get the hell out of my own way and just let the information come through for each of you. Are we ready? This has been like the shortest intro ever, and that's not a bad thing. Hello, the 8 that's watching. I see 2 likes. Tickle the like button. You don't have to smash it, but do something with that like button so the number goes up. How's that? And then check in and say hello so that I can greet you by your name vibration. And let's see how much of a difference that makes with the readings you get tonight. Alrighty. So this is the last week that we are starting with Gemini. We go into Cancer territory on Sunday. On Sunday at 11:32 p.m. in the Eastern Time Zone is when the sun enters Cancer. Hi, Sherry. Hey. Yes, happy, beautiful, glorious summer evening. It's just, this is my favorite weather. It's clearly summertime, staying light for a long time, full leaf. Everything is lush and beautiful, but it's cool. Best sleeping weather ever. Great stuff. All right. So Geminis, your last at bat here and first in the lineup. God, why in the hell am I going to baseball? I think I'm going to do 3 from the Osho Zen and 1 from the Starseed. How do you want me to take you? I'm seeing go through. I want that one. I want that one. And I want that one. And Starseed. Hold on. This is the Starseed. All right. Here we go. Okay. All right. Traveling, schizophrenia, and conditioning. Look at this schizophrenia in the middle here. You have these 2 like monoliths, and this person is hanging on by fingers and toes in between the 2. So we're really being torn in half and feeling like hanging on by a thread here. Traveling schizophrenia. All right. So we've got to try to hone in on a direction this week, Gemini. Even you, Gemini, are feeling like you're being pulled into. You who do so well with 2 things at once and variety and all of that. The traveling says I'm headed in this direction. I'm on the move, but I'm kind of going in 2 different directions. And then we've got conditioning here, which is the Devil card. And look at the lion in sheep's clothing. All right. So we're looking at habits of mind here. I'm going to go through all of these and then see what kind of message I can massage them into. Starseed says, breath of the cosmos, my will to thy will. Micromanaging the universe. I think there's the key. Micromanaging the universe. That you've got too many things going on right now, Gemini, and you're starting to get pulled in 2. And your conditioning can be telling you that, I have to do this or I'm not worth paying. I have to do this or I'm not worth anything as a human being. There's some conditioning of mind, some habit pattern of thinking toxic, a toxic or at least dysfunctional pattern of thinking here that is keeping you moving too fast and not in a single direction, in two directions, being pulled. And micromanaging the universe means that I've got to be everywhere at once. And if, I'm trying to control things. So, hi, Becca. Hi, Delilah. Hello, darling. Hello, Dee. I'm sorry, I keep calling you Delilah because it's an absolutely gorgeous name and I love it. But you go by Dee, so I will try to switch to Dee. All right. Hello. Welcome. Thank you for checking in. Alrighty. So, Gemini, look at where you're micromanaging. Look at where you need to just sort of let go of some things, because if you don't, you're going to get pulled in two. And I mean, it's like you can't have your hands and your fingers in all of it at the same time and be effective. The key there is and be effective. So, slow down a little bit. Your ruling planet is retrograde, and check out what is it that's motivating you? What kind of negative message is happening in your head right now that is driving you to stretch yourself far too thin? Interestingly, this week we have no real big major aspects except that Saturn-Uranus square. That Saturn-Uranus square is just there. It's going to be there for a while. But we do have a Jupiter-Mars inconjunct tonight. And when you have an inconjunct, the energies need to be adjusted. There's an adjustment that needs to happen between this and this. Mars is aggression, passion, action, go, go, go. Jupiter is broadening. Mars goes forward, Jupiter goes out this way. Let's stop and broaden our understanding. Take in more information and philosophize. Broaden your horizons, debate, discuss, understand. And Mars is just go, go, go. So this week we've got that adjustment for everybody in general of, instead of just go, 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 when you're go, go, going, which is what this traveling card is, that's the Eight of Wands, is stretching you too thin and you feel like you're gone, gone, gone. It's time to look at what habit of mind is driving that and where you are micromanaging that you need to. This says breath of the cosmos, where you need to let things breathe. Let life breathe. All right? Rather than the constant judging of this is good or bad and I have to change this or that, just let life show itself to you at face value this week and let it breathe. All right? Address the, Mercury retro does make us tend to those old patterns of thought. We can revisit the habits of thought, because when our day-to-day logical mind is kind of under the strain of a retrograde Mercury and things aren't clear, then it kind of opens the gate for the old patterns to kick up again and come back into consciousness and into circulation, so to speak. All right? There you go, Gemini. And thank you, gang. That was a pretty specific and clear message. May they all be thus. All right. Whoops. Flip straight off the desk. There's our number one. Cancer. So how's it been going, everybody? Check in. Good times, bad times this week. How's everyone feeling? Are you having some fun? All right. Ooh, we've got an upside down. Okay, going with the flow. So, ooh, interesting. All right, we have for you, Cancer. Slowing down is on its head. And this is, I can't remember which it is. It's a court card of rainbows. Slowing down on its head. So you too, Cancer, need to sort of temper your speed right now. And with the Gemini message, Eight of Wands just said, you're on the move, but we're, moving in a couple different directions and it's pulling us apart. It didn't indicate you need to slow down. This, because slowing down came up, even though it is upside down, indicates that, yes, slowing down would be beneficial for you this week, Cancer. Let's remember, too, that Mercury will be stationing direct in a week. So this week, it's slowing down. It's still backwards, and it's slowing down. And this is the sludgiest part of a Mercury retro, because it's backwards and slow. So, look at where, your activity level, and look at this, going with the flow. We need to kind of get out of the, hold on a second. All right, I need to bring in all of this at the same time. We have going with the flow, we have sorrow, and then we have activated earth over here. And I'm looking at the earth element, and this is what's upside down. And then we have activated earth over here. So Cancer, active grounding meditation is, it's beneficial for everybody every day. You know this. You guys know this. If you're not doing it, I want to know why. Because it's like right here. All you have to do is a simple grounding meditation every day. And you'll start to see benefits very, very quickly. Hi, Amy. Okay. So the grounding, you know what I do. Get into your body. Be aware of your skin. Senses. Feed the senses and give them your attention. That is grounding. And grounding like that is going to necessarily slow you down. Think about, when you go through phases. I know I go through phases where I will start getting super clumsy, and that's a signal to me that my body is following my mind, that my brain is going, and here's where I need to do and what I need, and I'm trying to keep up with it, and I can't, and so I'm dropping things and being clumsy and forgetting things, and it's just like I start to scatter. That's when I have to stop and let my mind follow my body. Stop. Get into your body. No more time's going to go by. This, you can afford this time. And then you start doing things mindfully, which means I'm, really looking at something, and when I'm reaching for, I'm one-pointedness. I'm only doing what I'm doing and not letting my brain get out ahead of my body. I'm reading your message, Becca. Awesome. Oh, Reiki is the best. Just the best. Hello, Becca's cousin. I'm so glad you're here too. Yay. Okay. So getting into your body, letting the emotions flow here, Cancer, whatever's been stuck in the body. So when we're not slowing down and being in the body, we have trouble processing our emotions because emotions live in the body. Remember that. So you've got to get into your body, let the flow happen, because there is sorrow here. There's still something that you just need to release, whether it's a big something or a small something. Activated earth says power places, ley lines, trust where you're led. So getting out into nature. Trust where you're led. Are you led to go into the woods and hang with the trees? Are you led to stick your feet in a river? Are you led to lie in the sun? Are you led to, get up someplace high and feel the wind blowing in your hair? What are you led to? Take some time this week, and what a great time it would be, over the weekend, as we're coming up on solstice as well, to just listen to your body. What element is calling me now? What element is my body craving? And Go where you're led is what activated earth says. Go where you're led. Activate your body. Activate this radar antenna that you live in and let it draw you. Let it tell you where to go this week to encounter whatever element is drawing you there. And let that, you go with that flow. Let that help you tap in to whatever is in your body that needs to move. Whatever energies are in there that just still need to move. And I think when we see something like sorrow here and we think, oh no, something bad's going to happen. I really think that everybody should have at least one like hiccupy belly laugh a week at the minimum. I mean, a day would be great, but at least one of those like can't get my breath ones a week, and at least one good cry a week just to maintain, So don't think of it as something, oh, this is big trauma or something. It's just the maintenance, the care and feeding of you. And when you are a sensitive person like Cancer and you absorb emotional energy from everywhere, you've got to keep it flowing. So what's in there might not even be yours. But the indication is you've got to slow down, get into your body, activate that earth here, activate it, move that stuff through this week so that you can go into your season, Cancer season, nice and clean and present. All right. Now that wasn't so bad, was it? And hi, Maya. I think I remember hearing about Maya. Did you and Ghana used to babysit? Well, that was easy. They're saying take it off the top. All right, Leo. Oof. I say oof because this is one of my core issues. Okay. So what came out was these two, clinging to the past and playfulness, and then new vision came out. Look at these poses. You want to know how you have a valid spread? Look at that. Come on, Leo. This is our pose for the week. Right? Not high drama, just, oh, here I go. All right. Clinging to the past, playfulness, and new vision. So look at this blockhead. This person's holding this block. And it's very busy inside that block. And there's this square frame clinging to the past and being boxed in to old ideas, old stories, old way of believing, old ways of thinking, old habits, of getting through daily life. So, how do we come out of this? And this is the five of, okay, let's see, there's clouds, there's water. This is five of water. So it is talking about old emotional stuff. And then the wands come in here with playfulness, and it's time to just laugh in the face of this and do, this is what Leo does best. Play. Play in terms of like being in a play, playing a role, behave as if I am going to behave as if I don't have those issues and see what happens, fake it till you make it. And then, and that leads us to a new vision. So for a while here, while we're trying to process these old habits of mind and old thought patterns and old traumas that keep us stuck in the past, and let's concentrate on the trauma part because this is cups. It's in the emotional. So sometimes the fake it till you make it. You feel like a clown. You know, you feel like when the false self is dying off and your true self is emerging, you can feel like a fake, or you can feel like an imposter. You know, this can talk about imposter syndrome as well. That, and so that could be one of the, that could be the thing that we're clinging to here, Leo, is just this old bullshit imposter syndrome. Why can't I say this? Okay, imposter syndrome. Is there another word that I'm missing here that my mouth is trying to say that my brain doesn't know? Anyway, imposter syndrome is about just always feeling like a fake. Any day now, they're going to discover, you know, whether you're at work or, you know, whatever context you're in. It does show up a lot at work, at school, in professional contexts, in social contexts. Of any day now, they're just going to find out that I'm a fake and I'm not worth, you know, I'm not smart, I'm not talented, all that kind of stuff. So wherever you're still doubting yourself, Leo, and you're still feeling like a clown, you know the old thing about people that have anxiety about speaking in front of an audience, and they say pretend that they're all naked, you know, and it's supposed to bring your anxiety down. This is kind of like the what's the spell for the boggart? Ridiculous. Say ridiculous to it and put it in clown clothes and see it as just a silly thing. It doesn't have to be big, heavy. It's just like, this is silly. I can let this go now. And then new vision here is the Hanged Man coming in to say, now I can see things in a new way. So what you really need is a reframe. I'm looking at this frame here, how your thoughts are framed to kind of reinforce this false idea of I'm not good enough, and how we can then reframe that to the point where we can look at it and go, how in the hell did I ever even believe that? You know, it's like me telling people sincerely, I don't have a very strong voice. I don't really have a strong voice. It's hilarious. If you've ever heard me sing, it's hilarious. So, but I truly believed that because of messages that I'd gotten from people and being so vulnerable to internalizing toxic messages from other people. So the new vision is the reframing your talents, reframing your understanding of yourself, how you refer to yourself. It took me many, many, many years to come up with the term ritual artist because I just didn't know how to frame myself. And even now I have so many different things, you know, reader / astrologer / YouTuber / musician / ritual artist / priestess / witch / you know, it's ridiculous. But ritual artist brings all those things together. And it is an art form, and it's my expression. So how can you frame your gifts and talents and start thinking about that? So this last week of Mercury retro, Leo, start thinking about how you do present, how you do express yourself into the world, and how that is framed. And over here says, you're not alone. So you're not the only one that does this. You're not the only one that feels like an imposter in the middle of your own life. And you're not the only one that needs a reframe on how you see yourself and a restructuring of how you talk to yourself, a revision of how you talk to yourself and what language you use. Okay, let me catch up with some messages here. So yes, yeah, I thought kind of babysat too. Enjoy the winter sun. Wow, it's so weird, Marcy, to think of it's, you know, winter is coming on for you. Put my feet in a river, water doesn't... Okay, yeah, no. No, you wouldn't be able to do that. You can put them in your tub, you know. Hello, Shuja. Hello, darling. Welcome. So glad you're here. Okay. So the message over here, Leo, of you're not alone. We all suffer in this way. Human beings suffer in this way. And, you know, we can look at how part of it is just the habits of mind of every human being. Part of it is the, you know, the restrictions of the culture that we're in, and, you know, the toxicity of the culture we're in and the messages it gives us. So it helps to know that you're not alone. And this is one of the key parts of Tonglen practice, is when we get in touch with our emotions. So kind of going back to that Cancer reading of being in the body and the emotions in the body. When we do Tonglen practice and we get in touch with that feeling, and then we realize every human being goes through these feelings and it connects us instantly. Then it's like, oh my gosh, now I can identify with so many people and they identify with me. And then it gives you, hopefully, the impetus, it awakens the bodhisattva in you, and you say, you know what, nobody should have to suffer this. I will feel it fully so that some of this energy can be gone, from the world. So, all right, Leo, get busy, work on your brain. This is how you use the Mercury retrograde. Use it to change your mind, change your consciousness. And what's the definition of magic? The art of changing consciousness at will. All right. Virgo. We are on a Virgo moon right now. All righty. Settle in, Virgo. And that, okay. Somebody's cooking. All right. We're getting repeats. This card came up twice when I was asking who wanted to participate tonight. All right. Gotcha. Hi, Pie. You want to come up? Hey, Pie. He was very confused with the people staying over, but he was good with it. The energy was just so wonderful. So why wouldn't he be good with it? All right. We have going with the flow showing up again here. So you too, Virgo, have to kind of... It seems to be the theme, even with Geminis, not being about, not micromanaging. There's a lot of this going with the flow. And, part of that flow is just allowing the rest of the retrograde to finish out. Part of that flow is going into Cancer season. So no surprise that that's kind of a theme. We have maturity, going with the flow, and compromise. And then over here we have all paths lead home. Inner authority, intuition, turn your gaze within. All right. So maturity, in the Tara dance practice that I do, there is one of the emanations of Tara is called irresistible truth. And that is kind of translated as maturity, that it's going to find you, it's coming for your ass. I mean, you can certainly remain immature for your entire life, but it's just saying, it is coming for you. So you might as well allow yourself to change in this way. It talks about, okay, I looked it up when I was... And this is actually the ace of rainbows. Rainbows being the physical. So we got the ace of... They do a weird thing. They go 2 to 10, and then they go to the ace. When you draw this card, know well this moment carries a gift for hard work well done. Good for you, Virgo. Your base is solid now, and success and good fortune are yours, for they are the outcome of what has already been experienced within. So it talks about things flowering. And maturity also is, it's discipline. Maturity is ruled by Saturn, and so is discipline. So is limitation. and restriction. But the thing is, if you, this is using it before it uses you. If you want to stay immature, you're going to run into limitations and restrictions all over the place. But if you take maturity in your hands and you discipline yourself and you become responsible, those limitations, that absorbs all that energy. It's responsibility, maturity, and authority then, rather than restrictions and limitations. So for you, Virgo, something new kicks off here. Going with the flow. I think we're talking here about daily practice of getting in touch with your feelings, the way we've been talking about so far, and going with the flow of life and compromise here. Okay, so there's a situation this week, Virgo. Carry a win-win mindset this week, where you are saying yes and to things. How can we make these things work together? And you, Virgo, the masters of synthesis, you are all about analysis and synthesis. Analysis takes things apart into their pieces and measures and looks at those pieces and what it all means. Synthesis can take pieces of diverse, different things and blend them together into something new. So that's what we're talking about here, is there's going to be something where a synthesis is required. And if you are mature enough not to be ego bound and say, I need it to be my way because I'm fragile, and you can say, how do we all win here? Right? So maturity, you take responsibility. It kicks something off here with the Ace of Pentacles, basically, Ace of Rainbows. And then you can just flow into a compromise that works well together. So thinking in terms of creating something, co-creating something. That's kind of what a compromise is I'm putting this in, you're putting this in. So the focus is not on what I have to give up or what I'm not getting. It's here is what I have to add to this. Here's what I bring that's going to add something to it. And over here it says, all paths lead home. Inner authority, intuition, turn your gaze within. So all paths lead home. It's kind of that, it's all good. It's all good. It's win-win. Yes, and how do I make this all work together? Because all these paths will lead to the same place. We're all aiming for the same thing. So it would be beneficial, Virgo, for you to remind yourself in some interactions this week that we're all after the same things in general. And sometimes we get bogged down in the specific details of the moment and the way something has to go, and that's that ego dance. But if we can step back and say, what's the bigger picture here? Where am I really going? What's actually the goal? What do I want to come out of this with ultimately, regardless of how we get there? Then we can find a way to get there that flows with. It flows with the contours of the land. It flows with the skills, brings in the skills that different people have to bring. And then you synthesize, Virgo. You're the one that works out the process, the most elegant process of things. So as you're working out the process, you take into account, here are the skills and talents that we have to work with. Here are the gifts. Here are our materials, our raw materials. How do we flow with these into the best process to get where we're going? So it does look like something culminates this week, Virgo. All paths lead home. We've got an ace here. So something gets kicked off, but then you get a good process. You culminate in a good process and something that a much better defined goal at the end of it. Okay. Pop off. What's popping off there? Beyond illusion. Okay. Stepping into real reality. Awareness and beyond it. I looked at the base of the deck too. We had awareness and beyond illusion. This is, what the heck are you? The Chariot? What is 7, you guys? 6 is, hold on. La la la. Existence, inner voice. The Lovers. Yeah, that's the Chariot. Okay. Chariot is awareness. So I guess the vehicle is awareness, and Beyond Illusion here says that, we go beyond the stories that our mind is telling us, because those are illusions. And playfulness helps. So, for our Libras, the Fool comes popping out. Oh, we got two. Playfulness keeps wanting to come out. We'll put them in the order they came out. And then right here. Right there. All right. We have the Fool, Playfulness, and the Master. And I want to look at, I think the Master is like a separate card in this deck, because it's not the Fool, it's not the Magician. Yeah, it is the 22nd card here. All right, this is the Buddha inside. The Master is you. So we've got the Fool starting off on the journey, just kind of inspired and open to anything. And look at him tripping off this way, and playfulness tripping off this way, and the Master here. So Libra, your playfulness this week is about really recognizing your own Buddhahood, your own higher octave, your higher level, your spirit self. The Master says that we all carry this perfection inside of us. We all have the same capacity for Buddhahood because we are all Buddha. We are all. What gets us confused is this crap, this thing here, with all its senses and its cravings and its desires. And then this thing makes things worse by telling us stories about stuff and making us right and all that kind of stuff. So this week, it's time to really look at what goes beyond this ego, this identity that feels so solid and real to me, starting this journey. So this would be a great week, Libra, even on a Mercury retro, to start a spiritual practice. And actually, Mercury retro is a great time for that, because it's not about, the energy is not about logic and, factual information. So it's more conducive to the spiritual, using your mind for spiritual practices. So the Fool says to start opening here to something new. And, to magic and wonder, and playfulness is in there too, because play is a spiritual thing. Play is such a powerful thing. It's how we learn. If you watch, children and babies, why do we just pile up toys for them? Because we want them to learn. And as they play with things, and look at the toys we give them to teach them colors, to teach them, bigger and smaller, and how to work things, so they can get their little fine dexterity together and all that stuff. But it's play. And I think where we've gone terribly wrong, where we've gone terribly wrong with education is we've forgotten that play is all about learning. And we learn when we play and make it, serious and testable, all that stuff. So anyway, for you, Libra, it's about spiritual play and looking at where you can lighten up in your spiritual practice. If it feels like a chore or something heavy or something I don't have time to do, well, then how about it be something incredibly pleasurable and playful that you want to do? Because the closer you get to your playful self, hi, Johanny, The closer you get to your playfulness, that's your inner child. And guess who the inner child is really close to? The master. We are all born little Buddhas, and then we start piling on life. And when we can unpile those things of growing and maturity, you know, all those layers that we pile on ourselves of expectations of what we should be when we grow up, if we can peel some of those layers off and get to that playfulness and that inner child, we are very, very, very close to spiritual awakening. Now, over here we have star bathing, light body, crystal grid, transmission, activation. Absolutely. This week is prime for you, Libra, to activate a new practice, to activate your higher consciousness. So, wow. These messages are so distinct for each one. It's kind of blowing my mind. It's certainly not the same old message over and over again this week. That's for sure. So, playfulness is the key. Optimism, being open. You know, the Fool is wide open to experience. And the Master is as well. And I want to let's just take a look. Let's get some words from the Master. The Master in Zen is not a master over others, but a master of himself. His every gesture and his every word reflect his enlightened state. He has no private goals, no desire that anything should be other than the way it is. Because remember, I was just telling somebody this a while ago, should says that there's some perfect reality out there that I am not conforming to. That my reality is out of whack with what is supposed to be happening. But Byron Katie said when you start doing the shoulds, you're arguing with reality. You're saying it's not supposed to be this, it's supposed to be that. But as she says, anytime you argue with reality, you lose, but only 100% of the time. Okay. His disciples gather around him, not to follow him, but to soak up his presence and be inspired by his example. In his eyes, they find their own truth reflected, and in his silence, they fall more easily into the silence of their own beings. The Master welcomes the disciples not because he wants to lead them, but because he has so much to share. That's why I have a chant. Not that I'm a master by any stretch, but the Master is in me. Together they create an energy field that supports each unique individual in finding his or her own light. If you can find such a master, you're blessed. If you cannot, keep on searching. Learn from the teachers and the would-be masters and move on. Oh, I don't know how to say this. Charaiveti, Charaiveti, said Gautama Buddha. Keep on moving. Okay. So, wow, Libra. Go for it. Do some literal star bathing, but it's talking about the Master and light body is the same thing. It's the same thing. It's this spark, you know. It's Isis unveiled. The veil is this body, these layers of body and mind and consciousness and feelings and, you know, all of the sensations and everything. When we remove all of that, then the truth is revealed. The Master is revealed. The light body, the Buddha, the goddess, the god, whatever you want to call it, is revealed. Okay. Wee-yo! I wish I had Libra as one of my big three. And see, I like this. This is my kind of readings. I'm a spiritual guide, not a, you know, it's time to start a new business, whatever kind of thing. Although if those messages come through, I'll certainly hand them on. You know how it goes. You know how it goes. All right. Scorpio. That. Come on. Right. Stress, control, receptivity. Oh my God. That's Scorpio in a nutshell. All right, and then we have the 7 star sisters. I may need to go to the book for more on this one, but let's take a look. Stress and control. All right, stress comes from trying to control things that are not in our sphere of control. So this week, Scorpio, if you're feeling super stressed out, it might be a great thing to get a nice big piece of paper, draw a circle on it. In the center of that circle, write all the things that you have direct control over. I can make a decision about any one of these things and have it be immediately effective. I have control over these things. Outside of that circle, put the things that you're not in control of, and then forget about those things. Don't worry about those things, because the stress comes in trying to control things, and this is hearkening back to Gemini's message in the beginning of just trying to go in too many directions at once, trying to micromanage the universe. So we've got, all right, stress, control, receptivity. The 7 star sister says birthing creation's tapestry of life expression. All right, let me look here. Look at this 3-legged little clown bouncing around on this ball, on this balloon, and the monkey that he has on a leash is getting ready to pop it. He's getting ready to stick a pin in it. So this is the 7 of Wands. And he's barely holding his own with 3 legs, and the air is about to come flying out of that balloon, and it's all going to come tumbling down. So Scorpio, what is it that just needs to be gently set down for this week before it falls down? You cannot effectively control and manage all of it. And they're telling me to take another one here, because then we have receptivity. So I think, hold on a second. All right. A lot of times, Scorpio, your need to control things comes from your extreme sensitivity and your attempts at trying not to be so yanked and rocked by your intense sensitivity. Extreme and intense sensitivity. It can be really hard to take. So we try to control what's going on. But what happens when we're trying to control the emotional flow, and remember that Scorpio is the ice form of water, then our receptivity is dampened. And remember, I saw this come across and I thought, damn, somebody's stealing my catchphrases already. The observe, don't absorb, right? Get the egg around you. Get yourself grounded. Get that egg of protection. I mean, look at how this is so linear. And I mean, they kind of echo each other, these two things. We have this, you look at this central line going up in the light. You can look at maybe doing, the egg here, sort of. And then the receptivity. And okay, also, new information coming in. Look how chaotic this is. This is like, trying to keep all these lit things in the air and dancing madly and blowing a horn at the same time, wanting attention for things. And then look at these two. So we kind of get this runaway thing under control, but then we have to let it soften. Once you get it under control, it doesn't mean that you lock it in and it's rigid. It just means we get it calm now. We get it tamed. We've let go of what's too much. We're not doing something that's fucking ridiculous and fraught with potential for failure. And I mean, this guy's holding this monkey as part of the show, but he's giving the monkey a pin that's going to bring the whole thing down. So it's about taming the chaos and getting that part under control. And then letting it calm down and go into a place of receptivity where then the emotional energy can just really flow. Really flow. So it's about taming the chaos for you this week, Scorpio. And we also have a Sun Pluto in conjunct going on. And that is adjustment between my playfulness, my self-expression, and Pluto, which is that dominance, intensity, you know. So it might actually come as something between you and someone else of, you know, I'm dealing with power structures and my own self-expression, and things need to be adjusted here. But it can also be, you know, your own emotional expression and your need to control things. There it is right there, with Sun in conjuncting your ruling planet, Scorpio. So, over here, the Seven Star Sisters says, birth and creation's tapestry of life and expression. I'm going to look this up. Okay. Birthing creations. And remember, Scorpio, you are the masters of transformation. So birthing a creation, it's like birth, rebirth. You know, what is it that you need to kind of transform and then bring to a good rebirth here? All right, new creations that want to be born, beauty that's yearning to be woven, new consciousness that's longing to be breathed into life. I'm getting stuffed up. All right. Creativity and intuition come from the same sacred place. So when you get the emotional energy moving, that is your creative energy. Scorpio is emotional energy. So that gets moving, and then we have something that we can use to birth something new. Perhaps you're being called to surrender to a creative project such as new business or a book. There's the new business thing. Or perhaps you're being called to weave beauty in your home or in the way you cook. Regardless of the end result, you're being called to express yourself through your creativity. What new creations are you being called to birth? So we've got to get the chaos calmed so we can let the creative energy through this week, Scorpio, and look at what project is waiting to come to fruition for you. Okay? Rose, my darling, you're here. I welcome you. All right. Sagittarius. Hey, 12 people, check in and say hi if you haven't already, and hit that like button while you're at it. Please and thank you. Okay, Sagittarius. Tell me to go to the end here. Oh, I picked this one and that one came flopping out, so... All right, what came flipping out is turning in. This is 4 of water. So it talks about coming in. Look at these little faces in the background if you can see them. Tuning in and listening to yourself this week, Sag. We have creativity, stress, and exhaustion. Holy crap. Okay. Then we have earthed, learning how to be human in the world but not of it. All right. So you this week, Sag, again, that vibe of slowing down and really getting in touch with your body, getting in touch with what's going on internally. Sorry. Okay, let's see here. Because you too have something that needs to be expressed creatively. Let me look at these two. We've got stress and exhaustion here. I'm looking at how she's looking towards these, and that's going to take me a minute here. So you've got that same kind of chaotic vibe that Scorpio had going on. Too many irons in the fire, too many balls in the air. Things are going to come crashing down, and the crashing down is exhaustion. So this is what you really need to be on this week, Sag, is your own internal state, your own well-being in terms of how much you're doing and whether you're getting rest from those things. So it's time to bring, I mean, it says creativity, but this is the Empress card. It's time to bring some nurturing energy to yourself and this chaotic situation. that you're going through. And even if things are fun, remember this. If you go, to a big event or you have a great birthday party and it's just so exciting and it's so much fun, that too is stress. The word stress could be replaced with stimulus, because it doesn't really matter whether it's a positive or negative experience. If it puts a lot of strain on our nervous system, it's stress. It causes stress, and we have to recover from it. You can have a fabulous vacation, and you still have to come home and rest up from it, right? So taking your creativity and pointing it towards balancing your physical activity, because it looks like things are getting to the point where you're going to burn yourself out. Tuning in, turning in and tuning in is what you need to do. Listen to your body and what it's telling you. Fire signs are so good at just rolling over what our bodies are telling you. Yeah, I'm going to keep going anyway. Don't do that this week, or you may be forced to do that. Then earthed over here, grounding your energy, learning how to be human in the world but not of it. So learning how to be human at the most basic, fundamental level is learning how to be in your body and care for that body. Learning how to be human, though, on a Sagittarian level is more about the understanding of, our human story and what your place is in it and where we are in history. This is how Sagittarians look at things. Let's look at it in the entire scope of history. Let's look at it in the frame of the entire world. Deep, broad, expansive. That's Sagittarius. So kind of looking at yourself in this human body and taking this week as Mercury slows down to just slows down in your opposing sign of Gemini, to just say, how do I need to stop and nurture myself here, calm this chaos down and refill the well mentally and emotionally. You need to refill your emotional energy. If there's been a lot going out, a lot because of the stress, you need to do something to refill that emotional energy, something that will feed you spiritually. Again, out in nature is one of the best choices ever. And this says earthed. So yes, get out in nature, sit your ass down on the ground and have a chat with mommy. Okay? And take care of her in the person of your body. Hello, Elizabeth. Welcome, my dear. Welcome. All right, stress and exhaustion. Okay, well, I guess that rang your... Hi, Lisa. Hi, Stephanie. Hi, everybody. Yay. Smack that like button if you haven't done it already. If you're not subscribed, I think you all are. You're my regulars. All right. Capricorn. Here we go, Rose. And they come flying out. And what comes out? The miser. Oh, Capricorn, did you just get called out or what? Okay. All right, they want those two, and look what happened there. And one more here. We are the world. Oh, God, don't put that earworm in my head. Okay, one more. Thank you, Marcy. Thank you so much. That means a lot to me. Communication, is worthless if you can't understand each other, right? And here we go. All right. So, Capricorn, the miser comes out first. It's the Four of Pentacles. So we really need to address material resources and the thoughts around them this week. Let's see what we got. Beyond illusion, going with the flow, we are the world. Okay. And then we've got the void here. All right, let's see. So beyond illusion, I talked about that a little bit earlier. Just saying that we need to get beyond the storyline. What are the illusions we live under? We live under the illusion that that we're going to live forever. We live under the illusion that we're not as good as, fill in the blank. We live under the illusion that that we know anything. you know, we live under the illusion that our judgments are true. That what we judge things to be is the way they really are. That's the biggest illusion. And going beyond that is, as Pema Chodron, Chogyam Trungpa Rinpoche, and all these wonderful Tibetans say, is going beyond it is allowing the world to show itself to you at face value. This is it, without a story of what it is, or an explanation, or a justification, or a judgment, or anything. It's just meeting the world at face value. And that means coming forward with kind of like your default setting. And so your default setting to meet the world at face value is that whatever your belief system is inside. So like when you're interacting with people, if your belief system is everybody really is a good-hearted person and we all want the same thing, everybody's really good at heart, right? Then if you have that frame and somebody comes up and they're a little angry, instead of going off into they're pissed off at me, what did I do? Well, it's actually their fault. They're the jerk. And then, maybe they just stubbed their toe really hard and they're just in a bad mood. But if you believe that everybody, is really fundamentally good at heart and they come in angry, it might be, are you okay? You notice something's wrong and say, are you okay? Rather than the ego interpreting it as this is somehow about me. So we live under the illusion that so many things are about us when they really, really aren't. So that's going beyond the illusion. And you too, Capricorn, here's the theme card tonight. This has been number 3 for this one, going with the flow. So, beyond illusion, going with the flow, we are the world. This is the 10 of Pentacles, the 10 of Earth. So the miser card is the mindset that says there isn't enough, I'm not going to be able to do it. That looks at resources as finite. This is saying resources are not finite, that they are all available to you. You just have to adjust your thinking and bring them in. Find the way to bring them in. And over here we have the void. It says stop. Embrace winter, great cosmic womb. Okay, hold on. That's a curveball. Let me see. Great cosmic womb. Well, stop. I mean, it just talks about just taking a breath and stopping. And again, big changes this week. We get Sun going into Cancer, first of all. The second one is Mercury stationing direct. So, it's a good week to kind of stop and just go with the flow. Let go of the agenda. So not a time to have a really strong external agenda, Capricorn, if you can help it. It really talks about dealing with inner stuff. I'm sorry. I may have to go take some Sudafed. Dealing with the inner stuff, feelings of lack and limitation, reminding yourself that you have resources and you are resourceful, and that you're too smart, too creative, and too connected to just be, left in the void here. Okay. This is also saying, Capricorn, that while you are kind of pausing, you take a pause, go with the flow of things, let go of the agenda, that it's very beneficial for you this week to spend some time in like real Zen meditation, real Zazen, which is just being in your body, or Tibetans just call it sitting meditation, Shamatha Vipassana. So it's just big fancy names. It's just sitting, breathing. Sometimes you just concentrate on your out breath. So you let your in breath do what it does. Concentrate on the out breath. Just be in your body. Whenever you find a story quacking by, just say thinking. Let it quack on by. Back in the body, breathing. Okay? The spending time in some nothingness here. And embracing that. It says embrace winter. You know, winter's your time, Capricorn. So if there are lean times, embrace it and see what it can show you as far as how resourceful you really are. How you can take a little bit and turn it into a lot. But again, the key message here is letting go of the external agendas, going inside, dealing with whatever you find there, and embracing it. Even if it's like, you know, stories of lack and poverty, sit with those, embrace them, breathe them in, do the Tonglen practice. Breathe it in, breathe it out, and let it expand. Like I said, boy, these decks together just go really spiritual, and I like it. I like it. Okay, Aquarius. Whoops. Levitating off the deck. Aquarius. Okay. I want to come there too. And the void comes out again for Aquarius. Ooh, look at this. These are very Aquarian cards, like all of them. Okay, so the first one is projections. So this is about how you are with other people and understanding that everybody out there. So remember when we were talking about the illusions we live under? We live under the illusion that we know what other people are thinking, you know? And we live under the illusion that what they think about us matters and is true about me. But what it is a projection. What they think about us is they're projecting what's in them onto us. What we think about them is us projecting what's in us onto them. And if what's in you is a traumatized person that needs healing, you're going to project that unhealed trauma onto that person. Sometimes, you know, if we're really in a bad way as far as, you know, not, or as far as really needing to do our inner work and our next phase of healing, we can almost be walking around looking for somebody to be our abuser, you know, looking for somebody that we can blame this on. But if it's old stuff that we're carrying around in us, we have to look in here to shift it and get it to change. But we can recognize something in here needs to be addressed when we're tangling with somebody else, when we're in a tangle, and especially when you are so pissed off you could fucking choke them. When you are like, I cannot stand this person anymore, then you need to stop and list out all of the reasons why they're the worst person ever. And then hold up that mirror and say, and why am I that? I am that this way. How am I actually that? Because you're not going to change them anyway. Even if they are those things, you're not going to change them, right? But it hurts you so much, it pokes you so much because it's in you, because it's raw in you. It's ouchy. It wouldn't hurt if it wasn't ouchy. So when you get poked like that and you find yourself so pissed off and you're doing the righteous dance of I'm right, they're wrong, here's all the reasons why I'm right, all the reasons why they're wrong. If you can stop at that moment and go, this sucks, this doesn't feel good, this really sucks, the fastest way to get through it is name all those things that suck and say, how am I like that? And then break through. Ba-boom. This is the Justice card. Look at this person. Fists up in the air. Look at that. Is such an Aquarian card, right? Things that go boom, shatter, breakthrough. Then we have the Wheel of Fortune after that, which is change. Then things can start flowing again. So check your judgments this week, Aquarius, and boy, you got them. You got them. Right up there with Scorpio with judging. Aquarius is very good at judging. They don't judge, they assess. They assess, they have a considered opinion, an educated opinion, and it ain't shifting. So this week, it's time to shift something in a big way. But being a fixed sign, you're very powerful, and you are also really good at doing big change. You know, your ruling planet Uranus is all about change. So you can take things that are ouchy, that really need to be changed. You can work with your own strong ass mind and shatter those conceptions and let that wheel start turning again, bring back the flow, and then change and evolve. Aquarius is all about evolution. So this is, you can spend this week looking at maybe a relationship where you're having a tangle. And then over here we have the void. All right, let's see. I mean, the void, I'm about to sing The Farmer in the Dell here, the void stands alone. Because the void is just, it's not connecting with this. But I'm seeing kind of this wheel and this wheel. And I think what this is saying is that it can then take you to that sort of restart period, that blank slate period. Tabula rasa, you know, you can go through this change, level up, do some healing, and then let go of so many old storylines that it's kind of like just a brand new thing, you know, open and blank. Also, with the Capricorn message, that it's always a good idea to do sitting meditation, and just to encounter, you know, even if you don't do it as a daily practice or anything, but just to encounter what's in there. So that's where we got you this week, Aquarius. I got something sticking. Okay, that just didn't go back in right. All right, Pisces. Two want to come? You know, I was waiting. It took longer than it usually does for the cards to multiply themselves. Anything I decide on in the beginning, I'm taking one of these and one of these, it always multiplies as I go on. Okay, Pisces. Oop! And we got two flying out there. We have sorrow, existence, ordinariness, schizophrenia. Holy crap. We have big picture think and the void. Oh my God. Okay, so the void comes out again. Alrighty. Let me see if I can sort these out here. Well, we have existence here. This is the Magician card. So the one card. Now we're talking about unity here. And just the unity of the entirety of existence and embracing that as a single thing. So getting kind of existential, Pisces. And that goes along with the big picture thing here. Now let's look at this sorrow, ordinariness, and schizophrenia. All right, hold on. All right. Why are these not joining up for me? I guess I just need to start talking and maybe do a lookup. Let me look up the number one here. I'm going to read Osho's message. You are not accidental. Existence needs you. Without you, something will be missing in existence and nobody can replace it. That's what gives you dignity, that the whole existence will miss you. The stars and sun and moon, the trees and birds and earth, everything in the universe will feel a small place is vacant which cannot be filled by anybody except you. This gives you a tremendous joy, a fulfillment that you are related to existence and existence cares for you. Once you are clean and clear, you can see tremendous love falling on you from all dimensions. Okay, Pisces, this is about dealing with the inferiority complex, all right, that causes so much sorrow. This sense that I'm ordinary, that I'm not really needed. This, let's call it what it is, the patheticness that Pisces can get lost into. you just get so absorbed in your thoughts, and those thoughts can really lead to inferiority, particularly if you have and see, this is oh, hi, ups and downs. Good to see you. All right. Okay, I sidetracked myself. Crap. Damn it. Shit. Okay. Anyway. Oh, I know. This is where it really, really helps to have your natal chart and to know what you're looking at there, because doing readings for Pisces, you say Pisces, Sun, Moon, Rising, but this is for Neptunian people. Who are Neptunian people? Focalize Neptune. Hold on. I gotta close my window. So that is Neptune conjuncting an angle, part of a stellium, solitary, involved with one of your lights, conjuncting, elevated in the chart, in a T-square, in some other kind of configuration. So, Neptunian people, you'd know I'm talking about you. But there is that tendency, particularly if you've got like a Neptune squaring Sun or Neptune opposing Sun or opposing Venus. There's this deep-seated sense of inferiority, of being less than. And this is why, this is what makes Pisces so very compassionate, is they identify with the underdog. They identify with those who our culture calls less than. So, they naturally just humble themselves to the point of I'm worthless, and can spin that story with their fabulous imaginations that I'm just not even worth the air I'm breathing. And that can get pretty dire, So I don't want to be frivolous or be offhanded about that. This is real suffering. This is the Pisces variety of suffering. So we've got sorrow that we need to deal with. We've got this sense of I'm not special, I'm just ordinary. The schizophrenia part. I'm wondering if that's about the kind of your uniqueness and your weirdness. That, at one and the same time, you can think I'm just not special, I'm ordinary. And at the same time, you're thinking I'm not special because I'm so fucking weird. I'm just a weirdo. I'm an oddball. These gifts, these aren't gifts. It just makes me a kook. Your psychic ability, your artistic ability, your inspiration, your spirituality might just make you feel weird. So not being ordinary could also be a problem. So that can make you feel kind of schizophrenic. Do I want to be ordinary or don't I want to be ordinary? But the thing is, you're in a bind as long as you're putting that judgment out there, as long as you're looking at validation externally. You've got to validate your own existence, your own specialness. And like it was saying, existence needs you. Existence is you. So Pisces, wow, you can get like way big spiritual this week. And big picture here is what this is talking about. Pleiades energy, visionary, inspired ideas. And the void is on the other side of that. So maybe sometime this week, Pisces, pardon me again, to really just do big trancey meditation. Big trancey meditation. Letting it all go. Connecting with the void. Feeling that connection. And see, this is what Pisces does so well too. When you go into trance state and this outer shell kind of falls away, Pisces has the ability to connect. Remember, Neptune's the dissolver. It dissolves boundaries. So Pisces always has one foot on the other side. And Pisces has a very difficult time feeling at home on this planet. Aquarius too. But Pisces can just feel homeless sometimes, and they feel like they're adrift on this planet and have a tough time being in a body. Well, this week you can really tap into that connection, remind yourself of your spirituality, remind yourself of your uniqueness and why you're here and why the world needs you. Deal with the sorrow that comes from looking for validation externally from, craving ordinariness and fearing it at the same time, and the split that that causes. And then do some meditation that, again, just allows you to rest. So 3 signs in a row now. Capricorn, Aquarius, Pisces, void, void, void. All you guys, all you outer planet folks. Time to do some real deep listening to the universe meditation. Set up the safe space, open your mind, and listen. Okay. All right, let me catch up with messages here. Yep. What is it I'm pregnant with, of course? Oh my God, pregnant in Scorpio. Wow. Okay. You are so welcome, my dear. Aries. La la la, la 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 la. Where my Aries is at? Where are my favorite Martians? All right. Yikes. Guilt, intensity, stress. Oh, damn, fam. Earthed. All right, Aries. Intense week for you. Guilt, intensity, stress. What the hell? This stress card. Okay, that's the 3rd time up for that one. Too much going on. Too much pushing ahead. But look at this intensity. It's heading back that way. All right. And Aries, you're not usually one to be driven by guilt. Usually not. But for some reason we have a problem with it this week. So look at where, again, where it feels like this sense of guilt, and I'm hearing the word inadequacy with that, is intensifying and causing you to just do too much. Causing what I'm getting is this frantic feeling like I need to be doing something, but you're not sure what you need to do. Okay, sorry, I thought that was empty for a second and I almost blew my mind. All right, so just look at where things are getting frantic and intense, and check your motivations, because this card says that there's just something maybe where you're feeling guilty, and that's a negative motivation. It's a negative motivation, and good things don't come from that. But you're going at it so intensely, and it's causing a lot of stress. I might take another one on that. And then we've got Earthed for you, learning how to be human in the world but not of it. But also just grounding yourself from this frantic activity. Let me take a look real quick here. Hold on. What the hell? All right. Yeah, Mars is in Cancer. No, sorry. Oh yes, Mars is freshly into Leo. That's right. So Mars is in Leo, and that's your ruling planet in another fire sign, in a fixed fire sign. So you've got all this intensity to burn this week, Aries. And this might be what's happening this week, is you're feeling this transit from a water sign, your ruling planet, from a water sign into a fire sign. So it's like, I gotta get something done. But again, check your motivations, check what you're doing. Is it organized? Does it have a purpose? Or are you just trying to do too many things out of a sense of catching up or inadequacy or feeling guilty about something? Inner voice. Okay. So this is talking about slowing down, and rather than listening to, it says pay attention to the inner voice, Right now, the inner voice is telling a story of guilt and maybe misplaced responsibility, but not a positive message of responsibility of you're responsible for this, I'm taking it in my hands and I'm going to do it. Okay, so check your inner voice, check the stories you're telling yourself, try to get over this feeling of guilt, and look at the level of intensity that you're going at things with this week, and see where that really needs to be tempered. All right, because it's like it's great to have a lot of motivation and a head of steam to get moving, but not if then you're throwing everything up in the air and it's just too much. All right, Earth says get your roots down, get grounded, check that inner dialogue, and make adjustments where you need to. All right, that was like the shortest message all night. Okay. So if you guys are enjoying my readings, there are links down below to send me a tip if you so desire. I thank you for everything. Nothing is too small. Everything gets my blessings returned to you threefold at the very least. All right. Taurus, this is our last one tonight. This one wants to come. I'm going to turn that way just in case. All right. Ooh. Ooh. Look at all the blue, Taurus. Wow. Change the dream inner voice. This is Wheel of Fortune. This is High Priestess. Pardon me. And this is Six of Water. Okay. And then we have your life as a canvas, artist, manifestation, creative accountability. Okay, all right. So Taurus, there's some change happening this week, and you're called to listen to your inner voice, and what you're paying attention to is how you choose to remember things. Okay? How you remember them is one thing, because we have the memory of the experience, right? That doesn't change. But what can change is your interpretation of that memory. So being a little kid and you, hi Sherry, being a little kid and you go through an experience that's, traumatizing or wires your brain a particular way. And then, and you interpret it at that time as, oh, somebody hated me. Maybe, you were going to do something and somebody spoke to you sharply or in a loud voice or something, and you interpreted they were angry with you and they hate you, right? Then you get into adulthood and you remember that, and maybe, that installed something in your head that really drove your behavior from that point on. That if I do this kind of thing, people are mad at me. So you generalized it. If I do this sort of thing, people get mad at me, so I can't do that sort of thing anymore. And it changed your behavior patterns from that time out. But then as an adult, you can look back and go, they weren't mad at me. They were scared. I was about to run out in the road or whatever. They were scared. And that's what it was. You can reinterpret knowing what you know now. This is how you can change your past. This is how you change the past. This is how you time travel. You go back into the past, you look at your experiences, and then you say, how did I interpret this and how did that affect me? And what was that interpretation based in? And can I change that interpretation? If I look at it now, what other stories might I tell myself about what was going on there? And you can actually choose the story that moves you forward the fastest and the most. Here, your life is a canvas. You repaint the picture. You can literally repaint and reprogram memories. This is NLP stuff here. So NLP is neuro-linguistic programming. It is a just a super powerful branch of hypnotherapy. And it's all about the reframe, you know, seeing something. This is like the Hanged Man, too, looking at something in a different way, reframing it. It's the glass half full, half empty thing. Oh, it's half empty. Reframe it. It's half full. That puts you on the abundance side. Okay, so this is about the reframe. There was something else I was going to say there. What was it? Oh, crap. Come back if you were important. It was a story I wanted to relate. All right, well, I want to rewind. You know, can I rewind the video and see what I was going to say? At any rate, I was talking about changing your past, reinterpreting things, NLP. All right, and that's gone. Anyway, remember that the definition of magic is the art of changing consciousness at will. Changing your memories, reinterpreting your memories is part of changing your consciousness, because those memories and the beliefs that got installed because of the experience and how you interpreted it lives in your subconscious mind, right? So the subconscious stuff, the beliefs that we hold, are the drivers. Those are the motivators and the drivers. And this is why it's really important to understand your 12th house in your chart, because that shows your subconscious. How do you, how that all operates for you and what you kind of store away there. But you go back and make these memories, these patterns conscious. Make it conscious that, oh, this is where I learned that, And when we're little kids, we lock things in. We learn things and we make them concrete. For instance, whenever I drew pictures of families, mommies and daddies, men and women, when I was a little kid, the men always had black hair, the women were always blonde, because my dad had dark hair and my mother had frosted hair at that time, blonde looking. So all women were blonde, all men were black hair, regardless of what, my experience was telling me. You just get, these things get codified. So looking back, at way back at those times, but it's any memories. It doesn't have to be childhood. It can be last week, But whatever memories keep coming up with like a negative pattern for you, go back and look at how memories got installed and how I can reinterpret and change those. This won't necessarily work for big, overt trauma. Overt trauma is trauma. You don't, misinterpret that kind of damage and violation. But the sort of subtle ones, the ones that happened, just a basic interaction and that were like wide open to interpretation. And we, of course, interpret in terms of our own chart and our own internal structure, our own mindset. And then we lock those things in. They become belief systems. They motivate our behavior. So again, looking at your memories here. Who am I talking to now? Taurus. The last one. Yes, healing, it is. It is very difficult. Healing work is difficult work, but it's the only work that's really worth doing on this planet. It's what you're here to do. You're here to move forward as best you can. And it's all in the trying. This is my first June without a Hogwarts. My first June in retirement. And it's been crazy and amazing, because every once in a while it's like I think there's something I need to be doing, and then I remember, oh, there isn't. I am more relaxed this June than I have been in 16 years. So, because I'm usually stressed out to the max trying to figure out what I'm doing for Hogwarts. And now I sidetracked myself again. I think I'm getting ready to be done here, you guys. Damn it. I was starting to talk about healing is hard. Oh, yes, this was it. We did a thing. It was for Goblet of Fire one year. And we did the Tri-Wizard tournament, but it was TRY. And it was all about just the value of effort And we tend to focus on accomplishment and achievement. We want result. We want to see the result, and getting there, we don't care. It's just the result we're focused on, which means we're future focused. But when we focus on the trying part, so I had the kids in the room and I said, thank you, Rose. I said, okay, everybody try to raise your hand. And they all went like that. And I said, okay, now everybody raise your hand. Like that. And I said, you know, those two looked an awful lot alike to me. To try to raise your hand, what does trying look like? To try to raise your hand is to raise your hand. You know, to do this thing, and there goes your hand, unless something's in the way. But trying is doing it. So we had this whole chant about what's it going to take? Trying is doing. And it was like the phrase of whatever it takes. What's it going to take to do this? So when you start off with a goal, the first question is, what's it going to take to get me there? Here's what I have. Here's what I need. What's it going to take in terms of effort and trying? And then they had these little books that were their try trackers, and they were to, according to age, I had a different recommended time of doing something consistently over time. They were not to track results, like if they decided to practice something, so they had to choose something they were going to do, and then they wrote down their efforts in this journal. And if they were going to like practice a basketball shot every day or something, they were not to track their progress. They were just to track, I did it today. I practiced today. I did the thing I said I was going to do. And then at the end, and I encouraged them, if it was a skill, to like shoot a video of it beforehand and after, that just the daily showing up to do it is going to get you there. You can let go of the outcome, because the daily showing up is what it is. It's the effort. It's the trying. So let's see here. Thank you again, Rose. Congratulations. Yep, I do. I feel so free, so very free. So anyway, for you, Taurus, it's about just showing up with the will to look at whatever is there in my memory, and the will to look inside, listen to that inner voice, and change those memories. Change the dream. And you know, this dream here too can also be about your goal setting and what you really want to be after here, what the next phase is for you, Taurus. So this week would be a good time to address those old memories things, but also address the dream forward looking. Look at how it might need to be revised. This is the last gasp of Mercury retro. Use it to revise. And then bring your inner voice in. Let it have its say as you create this. This is your, repainting the picture or starting to create the vision of what you want to manifest. Okay. All right, you guys. I think I am talked out because my throat is dry and my sinuses are stuffy. No, they're telling me one more. Okay. Let's just do one more here. And thanks, everybody, for sticking with me through the whole thing. I'm glad I can entertain you to that degree, Okay, there's one. And there's two more. The Fool, Ordinariness, Integration. Okay, so integration is temperance. Perfect. So what I'm seeing here is this middle card, ordinariness, that this can be the extraordinary for us this week. That if we look at the ordinariness of our life and celebrate that and find great comfort in that. The Fool says, I'm open to everything. So it talks about, looking at the ordinariness of daily life with fresh eyes. Look at it with just a new inspiration about it, with eyes open to wonder, to see new things in the ordinariness of our lives. This is where I mentioned this again in another video recently about the key to happiness lies in taking an intense interest in the minute details of everyday living and elevating that to an art form. So like tea ceremony, like just taking a walk, like tending your garden with your whole self. We had a lot of meditative messages this week. So bringing your whole self, one pointedness, and open to wonder. And then integration coming here. Let's see. Just integrating into the flow of your life. We tend to think, I've got my life, which is work and the stuff that makes me money and everything. And then then I got to take care of the house. And time to integrate those things. Integrate the life on all levels. The low to the ground level, the resources, the taking care of your home, the brushing your teeth kind of thing, to the emotional level, taking care of ourselves on a daily basis, integrating our emotions, letting the energy flow, being connected with it, letting it inform us, to the mental level of, how do we talk to ourselves about these things? How do we choose to describe our experience to ourselves? Because that has everything to do with how the memories are stored. And then the fire, bringing the spirit into life and integrating spirituality into life too. And when you take that intense interest, when you go from spirit down to the ground, you take that intense interest and look with the eyes of spirit into the everyday things in your life. Then you start seeing the synchronicities, and then the magic starts showing itself to you. So when you take and accept the world at face value, when you remove your judgments and open to wonder and just let life, who's the person's talking about life will roll at its feet, roll at your feet, I think I might have that in here somewhere. I'm going to look for it. Hold on. But, that's when you really start to see the magic. The universe will stand up and cheer. All right, hold on. I know it's in this group. These came from a Buddhist calendar that I had. These are the ones that I kept. Is it there or is it? Okay. Ta 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 ta. No, to generalize is to be an idiot. Oh my God. All right. Nope. Okay, I don't have it. I remember I had a little thing that had this saying on it, and it was just like, all right, never mind. At any rate, there's a quotation that talks about meditation and how the universe will just show itself to you and roll on the ground at your feet. So that's what we're after this week, is really spending the last week of this retrograde as we head into Cancer season, getting low to the ground, keeping our eyes open, keeping our hearts open, really taking joy in our ordinary lives, and feeling that reintegration. And then we'll be prepped for next week. By the time I talk to you, Mercury's going to be direct. We're going to be feeling a lot better in that regard. So yeah, and I will be with you on Saturday. Possibly. Uh-oh. I might be changing prayer circle to Sunday, but Sunday's Father's Day. I can't do that. And did I just put those cards in this deck? Yes, you sat there and watched me do it, and you didn't say a thing. All right, you guys. Thank you so much for being with me tonight. And your energy definitely feeds my energy. I do feel the connections from you, and it really helps things to flow. So have an excellent week. Watch for the link on, Saturday or Sunday. I will probably put a little post on the channel letting you know what's happening. But we have two events. We've got Father's Day and we've got a birthday on Saturday. So maybe Friday night. What do you think about that? What do you think about prayer circle on Friday night? Let me know. All right, you guys, take care. Thank you so much. Please like, subscribe, all that kind of stuff. If you have the wherewithal and you feel so moved, feel free to hit one of those donate buttons and leave me a tip. I appreciate everything. I will see you on Friday for an unboxing as well. Until then, this is the Zen Witch. I love you guys so much. Take care. Blessed be.